guys, it's Misty Eyez, your Saturday girl for Queens of the Week. And this week our topic is something a little scandalous because it's picked by me, and I love scandal. Here at Queens of the Week, we are not afraid to talk about sex. We've done it a couple times. But now I want to talk about safe sex. And more specifically, condoms in schools. Should they be allowed? Should children be allowed to get condoms in schools? That's the topic of debate this week at Queens of the Week, and I'm actually really anxious to see what the other girls have said. I chose this topic because it's something that almost happened in my high school. I went to two high schools, one from the 4th grade to the 11th grade in Indiana, and one my senior year in Kentucky. In my senior high school, they talked about putting condoms at school. And my minister father freaked the fuck out and decided to go to the school board and preach about, abstinence and blah, blah, blah. Which is great, fine, and wonderful. However, a youth minister, a church camp counselor, and a good Christian little boy who was a role model for all his peers was still having sex. And let's put it this way. My senior class in Kentucky, almost every single girl had a kid or two. It was really bad. And yes, absolutely, I do believe that condoms should have been put in at school. Severely. I'm a huge advocate for respect yourself and protect yourself. And I know they have the morning after pill, but the morning after pill doesn't protect you from STDs. It doesn't protect you from AIDS. It doesn't protect you from gonorrhea or chlamydia. It doesn't protect you from syphilis. It doesn't protect you from anything. It just ends the baby's life if it happens to be conceived. Or it prevents you from being, I think it's like, I don't know. It doesn't protect you from anything. All it does is prevent you from being pregnant. Whether it's aborting the fetus like on day 1 or making it so you can't conceive on day 1, I don't know. All I know is that the plan B is not the answer. Condoms are the answer. And I understand where my father and where some of the Christian advocates against condoms in schools come from. I understand it, but the reality is putting a condom in your school or making condoms available at your school are not going to suddenly make you want to have sex. Kids are already wanting to have sex. Kids are already actually having sex. And the thing is, I do a lot of traveling, and I always put a couple condoms in one of my backpacks or in my suitcase or in my purse, just in case, because Murphy's Law, the second I forget to pack one is when my door comes busting down, and then we're like, sorry, we can't have sex. Because that would happen. But the reality is, people that are not educated and people that are not aware, they're still having sex. They're not having sex because they don't have condoms. It just doesn't make sense. In other countries like Thailand, for example, condom posters are everywhere, on the buses, in the street signs, in the magazines. Their safe sex education is amazing. What about us? And I realize that a lot of people think that HIV is a gay disease. Maybe it was in the 80s, but it's not anymore. Nowadays, there are more women with HIV than men. And that's a sad, sad story. You need to respect yourself and protect yourself. And yes, they need to be available to people at school. Kids are having sex. They're not... Like, for example, if Pauly D wore a condom, he wouldn't have a 5-month-old kid right now. And some crazy baby mama running around trying to get all his money. And now he's like, I don't want to pay child support. I'm going to file for custody. He don't need to be having custody, no kids. He's a club DJ. He's single. He lives a party lifestyle. He's going to end up pushing that kid off on his mom or his sister or a nanny. He don't need no kids. And the thing is, if he would have respected himself and protected others, she wouldn't be pregnant. Condoms. I don't know why America is so anti-condom education. Condoms. Respect yourself, protect yourself. Wear condoms. You could be on the pill, but also wear condoms just in case. And if you really want to be on the pill, be on the pill. That'll protect you from getting pregnant. But it won't protect you from herpes. It won't protect you from gonorrhea. It won't protect you from syphilis. It won't protect you from HIV. I realize now that these diseases, you can live with them, and the fatality rates are not so crazy anymore, but they're still not something you want. Respect yourself, protect yourself, and yes, the kids, whether we like it or not, are out there having sex. They are. Endofstory.com. And they need to be educated on safe sex education. I don't know. Maybe safe sex is so important to me because when I before I came out of the closet, before I even knew I was gay, one of the people in my church was dying of HIV. I knew what AIDS was before I knew I was a homosexual. So it's always something I've done. Always. And I'm thankful because I'm still negative. Part of me thinks that just the curse of being a homosexual, that I'm going to get it one day or someday or whatever. But I'm going to avoid it as long as possible. And everything else. Look at the way the girls are dancing at school now. They're twerking on the dance floor. They're dressing like hoochie mamas. They're wearing band-aids for swimsuits. And you don't think these kids are having sex? They are. Now we need to teach them about condom usage. They need to be available everywhere. You can go into Planned Parenthood and get an morning after pill. But shouldn't you be going and getting the condom so you don't need the morning after pill? It doesn't make sense. Anyways, that's my thoughts. It's Misty Eyez for Queens of the Week. Loving you, Zizi. My final thought is this. Yes, condoms need to be available in high schools. Yes, safe sex education needs to be taught in high schools. Yes, sex education needs to be taught in high schools. If you don't teach people the correct things about sex, they're only going to use free porn on the internet to learn. Oh, this is hot. Oh, this is how you do it. Let me try that. You need to teach them, abstinence is the only way to prevent STDs and pregnancy. Birth control will only prevent birth. It won't prevent the transmission of STDs or STIs. Condoms is the only way to protect yourself from both pregnancy and infection. They need to be taught how and why, the proper ways to use a condom, etc. And they need to be made available. That's the first and foremost thing. I mean, unfortunately, look at me. I lived in Kentucky in a little tiny town with one stoplight, 45 gas stations because there was a big Lake State Park close. An hour away there was a movie theater, and the only thing the kids did for fun was go to the lake and get drunk and pregnant. There was nothing to do in Kentucky. It was horrible. Horrible. And the kids need to be taught, if you're going to have sex, respect yourself, protect yourself. I understand where my father came from by saying, no, don't let the kids have condoms because then they'll have sex. But the reality is, they're going to have sex whether they have the condoms or not. Hormones are raging, especially with the movies out now and the free porn that you can just click on anything. I mean, I'm an adult, but I know that every time I open my computer, there's like little porn things on the side and whatever. It's almost impossible to get away from. You know these kids are like, ooh, what's that? It's sad, but it's true. And they need to be taught now. HIV is not just a disease for the straight people. Anyways, that was Misty Eyez with Queens of the Week. Loving you, Cece.